Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the City Conservation Center. Hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. In case if you guys missed the last video, we are giving away 2 copies of the Conservation DLC. In order to do that, you just need to comment on the last video, not this one, but the last one. Shavalski's. Good luck spelling it. You guys can just copy paste it. I don't blame you. You also need to be subscribed to me in order to do that. I mean, obviously, a man's got to make his money over here. I'm kidding, of course. But welcome. So today we are working on our Oryx exhibit. And one of the important things I did want to include in here is Backstage. So we will be building not only Backstage for our Scimitar Horned Oryx, but we will also be circling back to our Shavalski's Wild Horse and actually building Backstage for them as well. One of the elements that I did want to incorporate over here is essentially working with a monorail. I have not really built with a monorail in Planet Zoo before, and after going to Bronx just a couple weeks ago, I guess it's more like a couple months ago, oh my god, time is going by way too fast, I really did want to incorporate a monorail within my build. I felt like it'd be a really fun thing to work with, and I think I may even do like a little bit of a voiceover for it too, have like a little script going on. Maybe we could kind of base it off of the Bronx Zoo monorail or something like that. I feel like that'd be really fun, but we could work with that later down the line. For the time being, I really just want to focus on the habitat. So of course the Scimitar Horned Oryx is one of the more beautiful animals that we got within the Conservation DLC. These guys are currently extinct in the wild, which is very sad, but there are small efforts currently in, I believe, Chad, that have been reincorporating these guys into the wild. I believe they're currently on like a 100,000 kilometers squared area or something like that over in Chad. I could be mistaken, but there are current motives to reintroduce these guys into the wild, which is great. They were only recently brought into zoos in like the 70s or 80s, I believe, so it's really important to see just how well we've been able to maintain these populations within our, like, you know, zoos and stuff like that as of late. And I think they're a very, very wonderful animal to have in a pack like this, very so dedicated to the idea of conservation, which is excellent. Oh my gosh. But making our way throughout here, we're starting to work on the Backstage paddock, not only for our Shavalski's, but I think for our Oryx as well. You can see it start to be made right back there. Or it's already made, I guess. And honestly, just lining up these focal points for the habitat, working on our enrichment back there, and working on the general shape of this paddock back here. Essentially, this is where some other individuals of the species would be held. Maybe you have like a very buff male who doesn't really get along well with the rest of the herd back there. And we're starting to incorporate some viewing areas for the monorail over there, but we'll be seeing that in just a little bit. One of the other things I want to incorporate over here is a little bit of a valley down there where the water would kind of congregate a little bit more, just as a way to bring these animals a little bit closer to the actual guest viewing. Kind of working with the game in a way to really achieve that. And we're also adding some more of those tree guards as well. I'm using the stringy wood eucalyptus trees because they are gorgeous. They give like such good height, and in this kind of climate, I'm not really settling myself down to a climate, as I said before, but it would be one where you can grow eucalyptus trees, and they really do just are, they're so good for habitats like this. They really do stick out, and they don't take up that much like wide room, but they do take up a lot of vertical room, which is very important when you're designing hoofstock yards, because you don't really build vertically for hoofstock unless if you're building for, like, you know, elephants or giraffes, where you can actually build like hanging feeders and stuff like that. This time around, you don't really have to do that stuff for the Oryx or the Shavalski's Wild Horse. Instead, you can actually make use of, oh my gosh, there's noise happening outside my window. You can make use of trees and having that kind of work for you in terms of that stuff. And essentially what we're also doing throughout here is working on a lot more foliage and a lot more planting. Since I already do have the vibe down, nailing down the vibe is easily like one of the more difficult things of doing larger habitats like this. But now that I do have my plant palette all set, I'm more than happy just to get in here and start kind of painting. That's how I usually like to describe my foliage placement. It's very much like painting a picture. You kind of start off with like a kind of base coat with like your small grasses, like with your triordia grasses, with like all your periwinkle and stuff like that. Then you start to make your way up with the larger bushes, and then you start to work in your trees, your much larger bushes, even some bamboo in some cases like you're seeing right there. Really awesome way to start to integrate that. And now you can see me start to work on the actual surroundings of the habitat. Instead of opting to kind of nail down the vibe with individual trees and stuff, I am using sunken down elm trees back there, which you can see, as a way to help create a little bit more of densely packed in foliage. I think that is more than acceptable when you're working in a zoo like this, where you do need to decorate those larger areas of, like, you know, untapped land. You can always decorate it like with the tiny pieces, but that will just lag out gameplay. It will lag out your zoo, and if you are able to achieve the same look with less pieces, I say why not do it, you know? So essentially what I'm working with over here is getting our monorail all set. I do only build one segment of it right over here. I will build it organically as we do kind of continue the zoo. But one of the things I did want to have in the cinematics over here is at least the glimpse of the monorail. I did want to include it right off the bat just to give a vibe of where it would be and how it would kind of make its way throughout the zoo. I really can't wait to get started on this because it really is such a really fun thing to do. And we'll be decorating the other side of the river over there. Maybe we can include some animals that are from the rest of the zoo that do have separate holdings in other parts. Maybe we can have some unique animals to that section over there, very much like how the Bronx monorail is based over a river and how like everything is on that side of the river itself. Really excited to get started with that concept. And of course we do decorate the bottom of that monorail as well. This is a very crucial part of the zoo experience as well, and I really did want to make it feel a little bit more built up and have it feel a little bit more organic within the surrounding area. Oh my gosh, wow, sorry. I am definitely not cutting that out. I love sneezing on, like, you know, these speed builds because it's always so fun. I love when you guys say bless you. It's just so cute. Oh my god. But making our way throughout here and adding the bamboo overhangs, that is something very emblematic of Bronx Zoo's monorail that always captures me, especially when you're going through, like, the Barbarossa area. One of the things that always stuck out to me was the fact that you have bamboo overhanging you on both sides, and it just feels like such an adventure, and I really did want to capture the vibe over there with that. I'm also working on some backstage areas for the not guests, oh my gosh, but the keepers as well. I really wanted to make sure that they are able to access that, and I'm also using Leader's feeding set over here, because I really want to integrate some realistic feeders, and I think they look very swell. So we have a little bit of that coming into play, and we do set up another gate over there for the guesses. Not the guests, oh my gosh, the keepers as well. And it looks pretty good. I don't know, I'm very happy with like those small backstage areas, especially now that we actually have the props for it. It's really awesome now that we're able to achieve that kind of stuff. And I'm also going back and decorating those back paddocks as well. I think that's a very important thing to include, just trying to blend those areas in as best as we can. And also doing that little area over there with the Scimitar Horned Oryx statue. I did base those colors off of the flag of Chad, I believe. So it's something I really did want to include back there. But essentially here are our little cinematics. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of like one of the quicker ones out of our entire DLC lineup, but I have a lot of other awesome animals planned for the City Conservation Center. I kind of made it through with all of our habitat animals, so I'm very excited to see how you guys respond to all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are really, really wonderful. Be sure to participate in the giveaway as well. It really is super awesome to see all of you guys participate in that. And yeah, I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Haven't started building for it yet, but I'm sure we'll have something great there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye-bye now.